You have good brow hair.
I have good brow hair. From this to over here, I want a parallel line. So I would take that little bit of hair right off. I want to make a consistent line from here to here. So I would take off this little hair. So I would do the both on the same side. You go up, and so you can see her natural arch, which is right there. And then you just taper it down.
So when you're doing measurements on people,
there's lots of different ways people measure. They find the center line between the nose and the eyes. I mean, on center down nose, but sometimes noses go crooked. They go like this. So I have to ignore the nose and I go right in between the eyes. So I'm trying to find the center point right between the eyes and mark it upward. You're gonna look really awesome. Great. Find the center point. Then I find the arch. See, this is her natural arch, and I want to stay as close to her natural brow as possible. So that's where that arch is. And then I use this cute little ruler, and I put it on the center, and I find where that arch was over here. It's right on the outside of that B. So I find this one. Yep, that one looks like it's right on the outside of the B too.
So basically you're like, you have more than sisters. You got some twins.
Yeah, you got some good brows.
So when you are measuring someone's face, you give them the option and kind of have, they have opinion. It's not just...
Yeah, like what's the look you're going for? Do you want the natural look, which is like hair strokes more, or do you want them filled in like makeup? So the center line, I go from the point of their eye, I go inward from there. But if they have nice fluff right here, I want to leave as much fluff as possible. We like fluff. They call it the golden ratio, 2/3. So this part is going to be 2/3, and this is supposed to be 1/3. So see, I mark it with this more because I like this consistency, because I think doing it like this is subjective. Like, oh, well, there's the edge of the eye, you know what I mean? So I think that one, it varies. So if I use this, it's the same on both sides. So now I have the tails, the arches, and the heads, right? And then you just kind of draw it in, and you look at it.
You can't edit brows very well in photos.
Oh, wanna bet?
You can?
So I'm staying with her natural hair. You see where her natural hair is going? I want to keep as much natural hair as possible. Oh, sorry.
Ooh, sorry.
Sorry, my fault. I gotta see both sides. Oh, see, they're fully lopsided.
Okay, so her brow hair, is it like...
She has ideal brown hair. Oh, you mean for the color?
Both.
Okay, so hers is, I would call her brown hair an ashy blonde. And so I would do a blonde shade underneath, and maybe a little bit darker for strokes if she wants strokes. But I don't think she needs very many strokes, except for right here where she has some bald spots. I would add some strokes right there, but through here, she has enough hair consistency that she just needs a little shading in so it looks thicker.
So you do a combination of both shading?
Yes, this is shading, not microblading.
Are you doing more brows?
No, this is the last one.
Where does it hurt?
I literally can't feel anything.
I actually do nano strokes versus microblading now. Nano strokes are hair strokes with a machine versus with the hand tool.
Oh yeah. Do you have to shave their hair?
No, we want them to keep as much hair as possible. We try to hug what they already have going on so it looks the most natural. If they have the hair to support a thicker brow, and they want thicker brow, great. But if they have very fine, little hair and they want a thick brow, I try to talk them out of that.
So what are your common concerns with microblading? What do you think is like the biggest misconception? I guess the thickness, like people having like too much brow.
But I also think some people think that the brows are going to be the end all be all, that you won't ever have to do anything with them again. So they don't pluck them, they don't.
Oh yeah, I get that question. Like, you mean I have to pluck my eyebrows still? I'm like, your hair still grows.
I don't stop hair growth. And they think that they should never have to do anything. Like some people, okay, look at my brows.
They're amazing.
Okay, but see, I only have a tiny bit of hair right here. I have nothing over here, and I have nothing right here. So I have it shaded and microbladed, but I still put makeup on over it. Sometimes you'll still have to use makeup over it because I want it to all flow and blend well. I don't want it to be where I have hair, but then I have a shiny tattoo. So if I use makeup over it and blend it all, it just flows better. But what's nice is there's a pattern there to go by, so it makes it faster and easier.
So still even?
Yes.
They're still sisters?
Yes.
You're not filling in crazy amounts. So how long does it usually take for you to do
Usually
new brows? Not a fill, like if not a fill.
New brows, well, I even say the fill is same because I numb for a half hour, then the new ones, I have to draw them. So usually I say 2 hours.
So instead of doing the shading, you would do like the strokes to fill in whatever bald spots.
So like on McKaylee that I did, she has no hair whatsoever. I tend to do the strokes in the front with the head. These are the heads, these are the tails. So I do strokes in the front because everybody sees the fluff. The fluff in the front goes vertical, so you can see the hair. Whereas over here, the body and the tail, it's all stacked on top like bricks. So you don't see the hair strokes unless you're this close to somebody.
Yeah.
So who cares if there's hair strokes? You just want the filled in look.
So they're not patchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, another big question is how people choose the right artist. Like, how do you know if they're going to be good or legit or...
My favorite clients that come in are ones that have already seen somebody that I've done. That they have seen my work, that they know what to expect. The next one is pictures. I mean, but honestly, everybody can doctor pictures.
Sure, yeah.
So you can't doctor somebody in person, seeing
true.
somebody's work. So that's why my favorite. But people choose artists for a variety of different reasons. For price, for location, for their personalities. Like there's so many different factors that people choose.
So price, like if someone is looking for...
I would find a comparable price. Like I wouldn't go for the cheapest person by any means. I mean, the cheapest people probably are just starting out and they're just trying to get clients in their door and get practice in, which everybody has to start somewhere. I get that. But just look at their pictures because just because they're the cheapest doesn't mean they do horrible work.
Right.
But just because they're the most expensive doesn't mean it's great work either.
Yeah.
So you just have to look at pictures and talk to people, get referrals.
So if they need some removal of brow microblading, or is it that easy to remove it, or is it pretty permanent?
No, people need to realize it is a process. It's a long process. Sometimes it takes a year to get removal, because it's baby steps. You do a removal session, then you have to wait 4 to 6 weeks to see how it heals. And then if you have to do it again, you do it again, but then that's another 4 to 6 weeks, as it heals. So you can't do it back to back because the skin turns over every 6 weeks, so you can't do it sooner than that. But if they're old tattoos, I say get laser removal. Because that ink, it takes over whatever ink we do. We cannot cover old ink. We can color correct, but you're still gonna fight those old tattoos forever. But microblading is a different kind of ink, and so you can do saline removal. But
Which, how long does that take?
it still takes a long time. It depends on how dark and saturated the ink is.
So when it comes to the maintenance component of it, for the very best success rate with your brows,
I would say come once a year.
one time a year, and in between there, do you have to maintain them or do anything besides?
Yes, you can't just not tweeze them or wax them or thread them, whatever you get them done. You're still gonna have to do those things. It'll just be easier because the person will have a map to go by so they can see what belongs and what doesn't.
Yeah.
It makes it much faster and easier. And even if you need to put a little makeup on over it, you have a map. So it makes it so much easier.
Like
you wanna cover them. So anything anti-wrinkle, anti-aging, anti-zits, it is anti-brows. So that will fade your brows much faster than if you don't use that. Like retin-A and glycolic acid, stuff like that, that will fade them quicker. And sun exposure.
You just have to be really careful when you're putting on your face products to make sure that that kind of stuff doesn't...
Avoid the brows,
yeah.
and wear a hat in the sun. Try not to expose them to sun.